Some songs didn't just get played. They got pulled, silenced, blocked from radio, kept off the airwaves like they carried something dangerous. But here's the part they never told you. The bands didn't stop the music. They slowed the truth down. Tonight, Soul Lens opens the files. 10 records, 10 real stories. One decade where R&B and soul stopped asking for permission. Stay with us. Because number one didn't just break rules. It shattered the ceiling on what music was allowed to be. Number 10, the Chakachas. Jungle Fever, 1972. Picture this, a crowded room, 1972. Smoke in the air, conversations humming. Then the DJ drops that record. A hypnotic Latin funk groove. Congas rolling, bass line crawling. And then, a voice enters. Not singing, not performing. Something raw, something intimate. Something that made people freeze, then keep dancing anyway. Jungle Fever was banned almost instantly by the BBC. US stations followed. Too suggestive, too direct, too real. And yet, it still hit the Billboard Top 10. No radio, no promotion, just word of mouth, DJs, and people who had to hear it again. That's the first lesson of this countdown. If the groove is undeniable, the band just makes it louder. Number 9, Sylvia Robinson. Pillow Talk, 1973. Now dim the lights. This one doesn't shout, it whispers. Sylvia Robinson didn't sing to the audience. She leaned in close, like you weren't supposed to be hearing this. That intimacy made radio nervous, not just the lyrics, but the feeling that you were intruding on something private. Stations flagged it, some pulled it. Didn't matter. It climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped the R&B charts. And here's the twist. Major labels rejected it first. So Sylvia released it herself. Years later, she'd help launch hip-hop with Rapper's Delight. But Pillow Talk? That was her quiet revolution first. Only about 9% of the people watching this are actually subscribed. And that hurts a little. We spend hours digging through archives, fact-checking every detail, bringing these stories back to life. Because this music deserves to be remembered. And if you're here, you care about that too. So if these videos mean something to you, if you've ever said, "I didn't know that" while watching, or felt something stir in your chest, just hit subscribe. It's free. It takes 2 seconds, and it tells the algorithm to show this to more people who love this music the way we do. All right, back to the story. Number 8, Luther Ingram. If Loving You Is Wrong. I Don't Want to Be Right. 1972. This isn't a song, it's a confession. No excuses, no apologies. Just a man admitting he's in love with someone he shouldn't be with, and he's not walking away.
As long as I got you by my side, it's a downright disgrace.
That honesty hit hard, especially in the American South, where multiple stations refused to play it. Church groups pushed back. Programmers pulled it. But the people, they made it a #1 R&B hit. Because sometimes the truth isn't clean, and soul music never promised it would be.
So deeply in love with you. No, am I wrong to fall?
Number 7, the Isley Brothers. Fight the Power, 1975. This one didn't whisper. It stood up. Fight the Power wasn't coded. It wasn't metaphor. It said exactly what it meant, and said it loud. At a time when America was still reeling from Vietnam and Watergate, this record looked around and said, "We see what's really going on." Some stations backed away, too political, too direct, but it still became a top 5 pop hit, because righteousness, unlike anger, doesn't fade. It stays. Number 6, Stevie Wonder, Living for the City, 1973. Now this was something different. Halfway through the song, the music stops, and suddenly, you're in a story. A young man leaves home, arrives in the city, gets caught in a system he doesn't understand. Then, arrest, courtroom, prison door. Radio didn't know what to do with that, so some stations didn't play it, or cut that part out entirely. But Stevie had just gained creative control, and he used it. At just 23 years old, he created one of the most powerful social commentaries ever put on wax. No filter, no compromise. Number 5, Ohio Players, Sweet Sticky Thing, 1975. Let's be honest. They said it was about honey. Nobody believed that. The Ohio Players built an entire style around suggestion. Layers, double meanings, smooth grooves that felt a little dangerous. Radio couldn't quite prove what the song meant, but they knew. So some stations played it safe and kept it off rotation. Still, it hit number 1 on the R&B chart, because sometimes what's implied is more powerful than what's said. Number 4, Curtis Mayfield, Pusher Man, 1972. Now we step into uncomfortable territory. Pusher Man doesn't judge. It doesn't explain. It puts you inside the mind of the drug dealer. That's what made it dangerous. Curtis Mayfield didn't tell you what to think. He let you feel the reality, and that scared people in power. The song was part of the Superfly soundtrack, one of the most influential albums of the decade. Banned in places, celebrated everywhere else. Because truth without commentary, that's harder to control. Number 3, Curtis Mayfield. Freddie's Dead, 1972.
There's a whole lot of you wonder why all the things go down.
If Pusher Man was the story, this is the ending. And it's not pretty.
Such very, very funny way life as to many brothers and
Freddie doesn't survive. No redemption, no escape, just consequence.
people, sisters that you may know of. Name was remember, if you can remember the story at all, remember.
Some stations avoided it, not because it glorified anything, but because it didn't. It showed the cost. And sometimes, that's even more uncomfortable. Number 2, Gil Scott-Heron. The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, 1970.
And to say the least, somebody went to a hell of a lot of trouble. I compiled what few facts I could, such as they are. Just
No hook, no chorus, just truth. Line after line. This wasn't background music. This was a wake-up call.
because hell, there wasn't nobody there. And why they claimed it fair and square. Cecil Rhodes couldn't have been robbing nobody.
Gil Scott-Heron blurred the line between poetry, jazz, and protest. Radio didn't know how to categorize it, so they mostly didn't play it. But it spread anyway.
And just to prove all of their suspicions, well, didn't take too long. And the women, the young, and the old righteous folks covered their eyes. And no time.
Through campuses, communities, conversations, and decades later, people are still quoting it. Because the message still hasn't expired.
Europe, these tribal units actually fought. This is what we were taught, is that unlike the civilized people of Europe.
Number 1, Donna Summer. Love to Love You Baby, 1975. This is the one, the record that didn't just get banned. It caused a global reaction. 17 minutes of sound that crossed every line radio had quietly agreed not to cross. Not implied, not hidden. Explicit, emotional, unapologetic. Stations panicked. Complaints flooded in. Countries banned it outright. And still, it sold over 4 million copies. Because Donna Summer, alongside producer Giorgio Moroder, did something irreversible. They proved there was no ceiling. And once that ceiling broke, music never went back.